What's going on, everybody? Rob here, Trev2323. Today we're gonna find out if I could spray this Dutch Boy not water-based latex sealant paint through my regular spray gun. And I bought a mixer to mix it because I'm gonna water it down some. Alright, I just wanted to let you know I did water down the paint probably much more than what I should have. But we have no little ones running around here, so I think if you water it down that much, I wouldn't have done it to a house wall to water it down that much or sprayed it, but this was just the basement wall. What happens is you can scratch it off a lot easier. It isn't as solid, so when you're watering it down, be sure that you're going to get the consistency, but the coverage and the toughness of it that you're going to need. This is 2 gallons of paint and primer, but it's latex, and latex is water-based, so I'm going to try to thin it down enough where it could spray through the gun. Now if you can see my rafters in my basement, there's some that are all dark, but I do got lights up here, so it makes it brighter. But the rafters that are painted white are a lot brighter in the area with the lights. So I want to try to spray it since I'm trying to make a YouTube studio down here. I told somebody that I would do a product review. So I'm going to do it in this area. You see the wall was black because this was all neon and nightlight and disco lights and all that disco, like that's back in the days, right? So what I want to try to do is just spray a pattern right here, across here, and the rafters. See how dark those rafters are? Because those rafters are black also, because it was like the dance floor area with the quote-unquote pole that goes from the ground to the ceiling that holds up the weight of the ceiling, right? So what I'm going to do is I got a bucket now already, and I'm going to put some paint in there, and then I'm going to mix it to try to get it watered down some. But before I do that, the paint in the bucket, I'm going to mix it really good. With this mixer right here is $4.99. It just gets attached to the drill, but you don't know how long the paint gallons sat on the shelf over there. And even when you put them in the shakers, it does shake them really good. I just feel, especially if you're working with epoxy and all that, that you use one of these to get all the good stuff that's on the bottom. You know, the shakers, one car automotive guy told me that, you know, they had shakers. I was going to buy one for my big compressor, and he says nothing gets as good as a mixer to the bottom of that can. So that's what I stick with. So I'm going to put some of this right here. I'm going to mix this up right now, and then after it's mixed up really good, I'm going to put some in this bucket and put some water and then mix that and try to get it to come through this. My compressor set at 100 psi right now. So I'm not going to mix a whole gallon. I know it is going to eventually come through if you water it down enough, but then you're messing with dry time. Alright, let me get this open so we can start mixing it. And if you didn't know how to open the paint buckets, that's what these little eyes are for. Because you just cut the eyes and you pull these back. You cut the little eyes, they're all the way around the paint bucket. You cut them with a box cutter or a knife, and then it opens up. It's a lot easier. Don't try to open that paint bucket without cutting those little pieces out. And here's the mixer attachment that I get attached to my drill, and you see it's going in the direction where it's not going opposite, it's going in that direction. And this is what's going to mix this down really good, but you have to make sure you put it all the way into the bottom first, so this way you don't have everything spilling all around. And I'm close by a sink with this where I could go ahead and put it right in the sink afterward. Don't bring it all the way out because you're going to start spilling it, but you see everything's going in a circle now? There you go. And that's how you mix all the paint, and you get all the good stuff off the bottom of the paint. So let me get this done, and then we'll mix water in it. Alright, I just put that right in the bucket there. I'm going to put some paint in. Let me get the light back. I don't want to drop the 2.5 gallons of paint. I got a 2-gallon bucket, so I'm going to put some of that in there, and then I'll put some water in there, and then mix that together really good. So this is the paint right here. All I'm doing is pouring this in there and putting a little bit of water. Alright, now see, there's the consistency of the paint, and that's going to be a little bit hard to get through the gun. So that's what we want to thin down some right there. But of course, when you thin it down, now you're messing with the drying time, and you're messing with your coverage. So but I'm going to put some water in there. I got some water right here. There, that should be enough. Did it splash you? And then you gotta mix this up really good. It's already a thinner consistency, and that's enough to spray through the gun.
That's actually really good spray through the gun. I think it is supposed to be, if you're in a cup or a half a cup of water, gallon. Water. So you can get this mixed up really good, we'll put it in the gun.
We're gonna see if it's gonna work. There should be air in it. Okay, I watered down the consistency some more, and now the compressor's all the way filled up again. My other gun had a, oh, there it is down there. You could turn it right here to get more air through. I see the screwdriver now. Of air in there. And let's see, I can't thin it down anymore. But you see, this is all brick and everything in there, so with a brush you'll be dabbing and dabbing. Alright, I'm going to try doing some on the ceiling right now. This is a small Harbor Freight compressor. This isn't my big compressor. If I have my big compressor, it's dude, well, you couldn't even believe this is the same room that I was in before. I still got some spots on the top. I just got tired of hearing the air compressor. But look at the difference in that and those rafters to the rafter that I didn't do. Just the color of the room, the vibrance of the room. And this is just an unfinished basement. Really, it's an unfinished basement that I turned into a kind of man cave bar area that I'm turning into my YouTube studio. And this is actually where I'm going to be doing my YouTube stuff at. Now what I did is actually watered down the paint some more than what it was, because what I found out with the rafters is, since it was bare wood, it was just like absorbing, and what I try to do is, between the compressor filling up, I was using the brush to do it with the brush, but that really wasn't working good, so I really had to wait till every compressor fill up and go back. Now I used the Harbor Freight 29-gallon compressor. And I tell everybody, I says, man, if you really want a good compressor, my head is killing me. The Central Pneumatic 29-gallon. Wait and buy yourself a bigger compressor. Oh my God! See, this is the little cylinder head right here. This is the cylinder head that worked its butt off today. And you get a 220 volt with a bigger cylinder head, and it's a bigger pumping, so you're getting more air per stroke. And that one, it says it's the same amount of pressure, but that's a little cylinder. It has to keep doing that just to keep up, and spraying, it really does not keep up. So I will revisit this. I used maybe about 1 gallon of paint, but with watered down, I mean, look at the difference that it made. 1 gallon watered down. And I watered it down, mixed it water, so I got a good consistency. And it was just like when it would hit the rafters, it'll sink in. So when I would pass it the second time, it was real nice and solid. And look at the difference in the rafter. See, that's the rafter that's almost done. I got to do the top part. But then look how dark the other ones are. Okay, so I do got to come back. But my head just started hurting for my compressor, just constantly beating me up. Now I got the bigger one in the garage, but it's not plumbed in yet. And I'm actually plumbing it from the shed next time to go to the garage with 3/4 inch and to come into the house with 3/4 inch. So all the noise will be outside. And I'm going to have the little vents wherever I need them, the little piping wherever I need them. So that's the end of this. But I'm going to shoot a video because these are, let's see. That's a fluorescent light. That's an incandescent light. And this LED light I bought, I want to take off my fish tank to use right now for my YouTube videos. That's one of the best LED lights I bought right here. This right here, I mean, look at that thing. That's amazing. It's so good that it's growing algae. It's like growing algae. You know, I mean, like thick algae. But I bought that from Ace Hardware for $19 when they first opened up. It's a 3200 aluminum. Look, you're shooting YouTube videos and you got that and your worthing. It's pretty awesome, huh? But what I'm gonna do in my next video on is this is gonna end the paint video. But I got these little EcoSmart LED cans, and all it is plugged in one outlet and then jumps to 3. So that's the video I'm gonna do right now. I'm not gonna put it on my fish tank right here since everything's already propagated in all my tanks. They're all solid, good up and running filters. So I'm not touching that. But these LEDs, I'm gonna put where my fluorescent is and kind of tilt them to light up the area I'm at. All right, let's see what's going on with that. Bye bye. Oh, one more thing. This Campbell Hausfeld spray gun is what I'm spraying with. The old one, the old Campbell Hausfeld pot can gun. That has one of the best spray patterns in all the cheapy guns that I have. Even the HF guns that I got, the cheap $19, $20 guns. That one right there, Campbell Hausfeld pot can gun, sprays a really good pattern if you got the right consistency of paint. Talk to you later. Bye bye.